In the 16th century, a man named Martin Frobisher led expeditions into northern Canada on a search for the Northwest Passage, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans near the Arctic. Along the way, Frobisher and his men searched for gold, and they found it, or at least they thought they did. In 1576, 77, and again in 78, Frobisher led expeditions and brought back black ore that he believed contained gold. But in each case, the rocks were deemed worthless by numerous assayers who declared it to be what we call fool's gold. In his final expedition, Frobisher dug up more than 1,200 tons of rock, but it was just more worthless rock. In science, that's the sort of thing that happens repeatedly. Scientists declare some discovery, and the secular press splashes that new discovery all over the headlines in print, on their websites, and in reports posted all over social media. Then later on, when they disprove that supposed discovery, or that discovery fails to be proven with the actual data, evolutionists either just drop it and pretend it never happened, or they stick to their guns and insist that the fool's gold is actually real gold. That's the case with the Ape-to-Man Theory. We've discussed in previous devotionals that many of the deconstructors who claim to have once been Christians and now reject Christianity, they'll claim that they now accept what they call common ancestry. That means they believe in the defunct, unproven Ape-to-Man theory, and they choose to believe the completely unscientific data that claims mankind and apes both came from ancient ape-like or chimpanzee-like ancestors. These apostates, embracing unbelief and rejecting Jesus Christ, believe they found gold. This common ancestry proves evolution and leads them to conclude there is no God, which means, by the way, there's no judgment day, which means there's really no such thing as sin in the biblical sense of the word. And that's really the point. And just like Martin Frobisher, whose life and work should be respected in respect to his expeditions and trailblazing, digging up more useless rock doesn't change the fact that it's not gold. But those who hold desperately to the common ancestry delusion look at the fossil records, and they ignore the lack of a single transitional fossil demonstrating macroevolution of one kind of animal or species into another kind. Instead, they compare anatomy and they study the genes, and they say, see, they look almost the same and have a lot of similarities on the genetic level. This is called homology. And it's really a childish, simple-minded load of nonsense that passes for science today. Try that with gold. It looks like gold, so it must be gold. But it's not. It's pyrite or chalcopyrite. But it's not gold. And when you poke fool's gold or scrape it against unglazed porcelain and do the same with real gold, then by comparison you visually see the differences, even without high-tech chemical analysis. And the same thing's true with homology, and we'll talk more about that in our next Evidence for God devotional, Lord willing. But no matter how many similarities you find between kinds of animals, and even in comparison to human beings, that in no way proves that evolution has taken place. But as we look at homology, we will see that real science proves that it's not possible that the claims of evolution are true. But these end-time deceptions are actually a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. As Paul predicted in one of several places, he said, 2 Timothy 4:4, speaking of these people in the end times, who will not endure sound doctrine or truth, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. And that's what common ancestry and the Ape-to-Man theory is. Reject Satan's pseudo-scientific lies and hold fast to the truth of God's Word in our King James Bible in English and real science.